Citizens Assisting Police. I've been volunteering with them for 10 years. I also volunteer with the Women's Civic Club. I was their treasurer for a couple of years. And you can go anywhere you want with the people that you meet there. It's a wonderful, wonderful place for the people. Now I'd like to invite Angie Fatucci to come speak about how not just our members benefit from it, but the citizens of the beach here. Angie?
Thank you. Thank you, Joyce. Her attention to detail, you'll see that in the budget, so we really appreciate Joyce and her 13 years with the PCB Senior Center. And just so you know, we know finding a good accountant is hard, so she's ours. She is not available. My name is Angie Forcucci. I work with Care Patrol of Greater Mobile in Northwest Florida. We're a free service to seniors, and we help connect them to assisted living memory care. Lauren Jones, that's also here with the PCB Senior Center today, is the operating director of Cornerstone Caregiving, and they provide in-home care services for seniors in the area. We are both Panama City Beach residents. We are also both the two newest board members of the Panama City Beach Senior Center, so we appreciate being here. We really just want to detail what the PCB Senior Center does to help the community. The mission and the purpose is to improve the physical, emotional, and mental quality of life for the members. 700 members strong, year-round and seasonal visitors, and we're open to the public, and it's 5 days a week. We're an active member of the PCB Chamber of Commerce as well. We're an active member of the Bay County Alzheimer's Alliance. We are active members of the Bay Council on Aging, and we cross hands across the bridge with the Council on Aging and the Day Respite Program. We have monthly lunch and learn programs for all of the members. Anybody's welcome to attend. The September program is going to be on fraud for seniors. We bring in a panel of expert speakers on health, wellness, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, stroke prevention, hospice care. We have blood drives. We do financial planning. We bring in Medicare insurance experts, veterans services. Veterans make up a large portion of our members. We connect them to services they may not know about. We collect food. We do food collection, and really just connect the seniors to resources in the community. We have health and wellness programs, chair exercise, yoga, weight training classes, weekly bingo, woodworking, line dancing, arts and crafts. We have an annual community health fair with over 45 vendors from community volunteers. Speaking of volunteers, the Senior Center, PCB Senior Center we provide about 40 volunteers to handle Ironman and that program, and when it comes through town. Those are volunteers that the city doesn't have to pay to facilitate the Ironman.
Do you get compensated for that?
I'm sorry?
Do you get compensated for that?
Yes, we receive a grant.
You receive a grant for that?
Part of
Okay.
We have holiday craft fairs, anything and everything craft fairs, supporting local artisans and community engagement. We do fundraising through raffles to help provide quilts, mobility equipment, scooters, and other assistance to seniors in need. We are an active participant in Wreaths Across America, honoring our veterans. We're here to thank you. We appreciate the funds that were given. Additional funding would allow the center to expand educational programming, health initiatives, volunteer opportunities, facility improvements, as you can imagine, are needed, and services that help older adults remain active and healthy. Every dollar invested in the PCB Senior Center is an investment in healthier residents, stronger community partnerships, and a better quality of life for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie. I have a few questions. Joyce, if you want to come up. So you indicated that the PCB annual stipend is 47% of your operating budget?
It was this year, yes.
Okay. And then you have a $50 membership for 700 members, of which 60% are local, and that's 20% of your budget?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Have you guys raised that
We haven't raised in the last 4 or 5 years. We are considering raising it with the upcoming season
Okay,
and offsetting it with, currently, we do a donation basket, and when people attend any of the classes on that calendar, they put $1 in a basket. With the increase that we're proposing for next year, we're going to eliminate that, which is really to their benefit, because the dollar that they put in, if they go to more than 20 classes in a year, it's already offset. And that eliminates a lot of the overhead in tracking that and entering it into the banking system and everything else. So get it up front, it's handled.
yeah, administratively less burdensome. Okay. Any
Who
further-
is your liaison between the TDC and the winter resident program that we do at the TDC and the senior center?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Who is your liaison between the TDC and the winter resident program that we
It
put
was
on?
our vice president on our board, Janet Roan, and unfortunately, she passed a month or
Okay.
2 ago. So we're still trying to reallocate who's going to be the liaison with the TDC.
Okay.
But
And the
we-
TDC does sponsor some dances and programs and,
They do this totally separate from us, although we do provide volunteers that work a lot of those events.
okay. I'd just like to see better engagement probably between the
We would
senior
as well.
center and the TDC moving forward would be a good thing, and opportunities to provide more things, especially for the winter residents, because I know that's something that we focused on over at the TDC as well. So maybe I
Like
can
we've done
help
with the Chamber of
create-
Commerce, we would hope that our new liaison would attend TDC meetings and things to try and improve.
I think that would be highly beneficial.
Okay.
Further questions or comments from the council?
I would just like to say, I think the senior center does a really good job with their programs and activities. I'm very active with them and have been for many years. So it gives our residents a place to go, to socialize with minimal expense to them. And I think it's good that we're also able to augment them with the lunches that we provide when we do our lunch and learn and when we do our monthly potlucks and things like that, too.
Yeah, those are real popular. We've added another type luncheon this last year called Members Potluck, and it's real popular. Everyone just brings something to it, but it's where they mingle more with, instead of just going and sitting at the same table with the same people, they tend to want to go around and say, did you bring this or did you bring that, and share recipes, and it's very popular. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. And the woodshop program in the wintertime
that's
is
very
very
popular.
popular to our winter guests as well as our residents.
The calendar that I handed out is just a sample one from August. It changes month to month and seasonally. As Mary was saying, our woodshop program is very popular, but from our activities list, the exercise classes tend to be highly populated as well. The chair exercise, yoga, Pilates, and those type classes. Used to be the card playing was higher, but now people are getting more health conscious and taking advantage of our programs. The other thing I did want to mention is all of these activities on that calendar are volunteer-led. They're just other members that are leading these classes. So we don't have to pay teachers or anything else. So it's all the community supporting the community. And I just want to thank the council again for all of the support in the past and look forward to the continued collaboration with you.
Okay. Thank you, Joyce. Angie, appreciate you. All right, I think we have some representatives from Northwest Florida Regional Library System.
Hello. Hi. My name is Robin Shader. I'm the director of the Northwest Regional Library System in the Bay County Public Library. Ann Howard is with me. She's the branch manager for the Panama City Beach Library. Before we talk about the library, I just want to also echo the positive comments about the senior center. I have family and friends who are there on a regular basis, and they absolutely love it. So, good job. Okay, I think Ann's going to start with some information about the activities at the library.
Ann Howard, Panama City Library Branch Manager. Same with a lot of the other people that came up. The Senior Center, the Boys and Girls Club, we offer a lot of activities, mainly focused on children's and family. We had our summer reading program. We had over about 578 patrons just to visit those programs alone, which ran for 7 weeks. We also hold...
And this is for the PCB branch?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We also hold a big community space for people to come in and just gather. Right now, we have our Mahjong meetup, which is absolutely free. We have about 50 people a month come to that. and there's a lot of different people that sit in and learn. We also have Mahjong sets that people can check out for free to learn Mahjong, since it is like a big craze right now and it's very, very popular. I also noticed that a lot of visitors come through for study space, quiet space, and computer access, which is something that we provide as well. Everything at the library is free, and a lot of people use our service, and just for access. I'm very surprised at the amount of people in the community that can't afford Wi-Fi and come to the library to help their kids in homeschool and things of that nature.
Okay. Thank you, Ann. Robin, did you have anything else to add?
I don't. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have.
So I know, I noticed that of the activities, you mentioned Mahjong, quiet study, internet, not much book interaction for those?
We have, well, for those, no, we do have story times for babies and toddlers, and we run about 6 of those a month. And that is during the school year. So those are picked back up, and it goes with the school year to help with the.
How much interaction do you get for the, on the shelves?
As far as circulation, we have about 6,000 items borrowed from the Panama City Beach Library every month.
Okay. And what would you
so-
say the mix of children versus adult? Books on the shelves, not books that you're bringing in from other libraries in the system.
There is a larger collection of books for children that we house at our library. We have a vast picture book collection for kids that are like kindergarten to school age, and then we have a big junior fiction collection. We don't have that large of a young adult collection, so we do get a lot of those books in, but half of our library is dedicated to the children.
Okay. And what about the adult section?
The adult section, gosh, it's a lot of books to count, but we don't have a big budget for our new books, so a lot of our new books we do get from other libraries, but I would say probably 20 or 30% of our circulation are from our adult collection. That is housed in Panama City Beach. A lot of our stuff do come from the other branches.
Okay. Yeah.
You mentioned 6,000 a month. What's the spread on that? Books versus, is that just books?
That is just physical books.
So
We
you're renting 193 books a day? Per
Sure.
month?
If not more, because of online access.
Yes, so I'd just like to take a moment to talk about the digital collection. We have access to over 50,000 items in our digital collection, but because the tracking is done, because our customers all have the same prefix on our library cards, the company cannot say how many checkouts are coming from which location. But we did a study last year, and it was, I think it was over 3,000 users in a 3-month period came from the Beach Library. So we know there are a significant number of people who have a card at the beach who are using that digital collection as well, but we don't include that number in the 6,000 on average checkouts per month because we can't say for sure that those are coming from the beach. So that is just physical items that people are borrowing from the beach location.
And do you have an average per person of what they're renting as far as like one person's average is 5 books or?
No, I don't know that. I can see if we can get that data, but
I was
don't
just
know
curious.
if
That's a bunch of
available.
books in a day.
Yeah, it'll be really difficult. A lot of the families, our limit is 20. So a family of 5 could have 3 library cards and they will check out 60 books.
Okay. And what are the hours?
Our hours right now, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday 9 to 4.
Okay. Any
What days are you seeing as the most active?
Right now, Tuesday, that is our Mahjong day, because a lot of people come to that.
For renting books?
It's really hard to gauge because a lot of times people are coming in to just study and work. And so in the hustle and bustle of a day, I say we have an average about 200 people coming in and out, I would say at least half of those people or more, so I would say 60% are renting books or coming in to just use a facility because for whatever reason, they don't have a library card or whatever have you.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
200 visitors a day, you said?
Up to.
I don't know if you have parking for that. All right, and Robin, thank you. I think what you've given us here, actually, I don't recall the last couple budget meetings, but it was a lot more substantial this year. So I appreciate that, and thanks for coming in and talking to us.
Mayor, I'd just like to thank all three of the nonprofits we support, the Boys and Girls Club, the Senior Center, and the library. They're all great for our community, and I think this is the first time we've had you guys do that, but just transparency with where the tax dollars are going, I think is why we started doing it, but I support all three of you guys. You do a wonderful job for our community, so I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I would like to echo Councilman Casso. I really appreciate you all coming and talk to us. We have our directors all sitting back there, but these are some of the funds, particularly the contributions that go out directly. So contributions are not grants because there's no strings. And then the library, I think that's the first time you all have come to talk to us. So I really appreciate you taking your time this morning. It's nice to get some action in one of the most important meetings of the year. All right.
Okay.
You guys want to move on to the general fund?
Let's do it. You don't want to take a break?
It's been 20 minutes. It's been 25 minutes.
We'll never get through.
The real question is, if we take a break now, does that mean we can go for like an hour?
Can we at least get through, can we at least get through the general fund? All right, let's go.
Okay, to start with our general fund today, we're going to be presenting the budget for.
And for folks listening online, this is Deborah Gibson, our finance director.
And with me, I have Joey St. Germain, who is our budget analyst, senior budget analyst.
Thank you, Deborah.
And this is her baby.
Yeah.
So we're going to start today with the general fund and move through the other funds. And within the general fund, there are 12 different departments that we will hit. But I want preference, as we're going through this budget, that this year, every year, we ask for justifications. We started off a couple of years ago asking for justifications for capital outlay and, large equipment items. You have those within your budget that you can review or have reviewed. And then this year we did a little bit different. We asked for justifications for operating supplies, for training and travel, so that we can get a little bit more detail in the budget and try to pull out and massage the budget to be more exactly what they are asking for and needing for, instead of trying to kind of guess. Not guess, but budget work is a guess, I guess. But so this year we did ask each of the departments to come through, and we detailed out their operating supplies, we detailed out training and travel, and all that information is in the justifications that you have within your budget package. So we will begin. So these, as you see, this is our agenda for the day, and we will just move forward. So like I just said, that the general fund has 12 departments within the general fund, and I'm just going to touch real quick on the general fund expenditures this year. On the expenditure budget, as you see here, there is 40% of our expenditure budget is for personnel, and capital outlays are at 29%, and operating is at 24%. And then over to the right slide, you see our budgeted revenues. And this year, as in every year, Joey took a very conservative approach to forecasting our revenues. I think like a 1% increase on the majority of our revenues. So as you can see, the business tax receipts is our largest revenue stream for the general fund, and that's at 38%, 36%. And the budget general revenue funds and transfers for this year are $59,106,200. And it represents a 2% increase over the 26 amended budget of $50,842,840. So we will go into the general fund budget for expenditures for the 27 budgets. The proposed is $73,797,864.
73 million.
Oh, yeah, 73,797,000 for this year. And you'll see that the majority of our proposed budget expenditures is for public safety. 32% is law enforcement and 21% is fire. And we will go through each one of these departments separately. So the first department is our legislative department. The legislative department consists of the mayor and the council. The proposed 27 budget is $480,300. It's not much of a change over last year. 46 is personnel. 46% of the proposed budget is for personnel, and 54% is for the operating expenditures. So as we get to the overall, as I'm presenting this, I'm going to present the overall bigger picture, bigger items, and then I'll just kind of pause and y'all can ask questions, or you can have the departments come up and ask questions. And I also should have said at the very beginning that when we get to different sections in the budget, the city manager is going to go ahead and ask for a motion of approval of some of the expenditures for some of the requests. Okay, individually. So he does not have to come back to the city council.
All right.
So we're on legislative department. Any questions?
Not much change. Okay. Questions?
No, sir.
All right, seeing none.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we'll move to the executive department. The executive department is the city manager, assistant city manager, as well as the city clerks. The 27 proposed budget is $1,145,500. 78% of their proposed budget is for personnel, with 24% in operating. The two professional and contractual services that are being requested this year is the strategic planning support, as well as document scanning project. And that's all they have asked for.
How much was it, the strategic planning support?
The which one?
Strategic planning support?
It is, let me get the thing right here. Do you have that one, Buzz?
It was about 32,000.
Yeah, it was like, because we just did that last meeting.
Yes, sir, we did
Yeah.
last meeting, it's about 32.5.
Okay.
For a strategic plan that's kicking off right now after your approval, and we'll hopefully wrap that up spring of next year.
Okay. And help me understand the document scanning project?
It's 20,000.
20,000, okay.
Mayor, before we move on to the next one, I just want to thank our leadership, our department heads. We bring you a balanced budget. We've cut a lot of positions this year, cut back on some of our capital improvements. I want to thank Joey and Ms. Deborah and the finance staff for helping us, and Holly, of course, her expertise with the city for the last 25 years. Before we move on to the next one, per charter, council has to approve my travel along with the city clerk's travel. If you look on page 1, there's some list of travels that we do every year. If I could get a motion so you can approve the travel, so I don't have to bring that back every time we travel to Tallahassee or DC or our conferences.
Motion to approve the travel.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Fasani, please call roll.
Councilman Casto?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn?
Yes.
Councilman Register?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Teddemer?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, there's one other item in our section. The Bay County EDA is also requesting $29,323. Ms. Beckus has a letter, it's about the third page in that, requesting that. If you guys are fine with that, if I could please get a motion for that, so we can pay that when the invoice comes in during the fiscal year of 2027.
Okay, and that went down this year, right?
Slightly, yes, sir.
Just a little bit, okay? So that's
$400.
$400.
400, but yeah, it's a population estimate thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Becca and her team do a tremendous job. Motion to approve EDA, $29,323 for 2027.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Fasani?
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Tettemer.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Becca and team do a great job.
That's
Anything
all
else,
I have
Drew?
for that section, sir.
Okay, and I want to echo the city manager's comments. You guys brought us a nice tight budget this year. You know, this is a tough year as everyone's preparing for the pending Amendment 3. That won't directly impact our general fund, but, you know, it's a belt-tightening year for everyone, so we really appreciate you making it a little bit easier on us up here. Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, so our next department within the general fund is our administration department, and the admin department consists of finance, HR, and facility maintenance. And the proposed 2027 budget is, for all three of these departments, is $3,576,200. Finance is 53% of that budget, facility maintenance is 14%, and HR is 33%. So the first department within that budget is the finance and communications. We put communications with finance because it's such a smaller, as far as budget-wise, since it is such a smaller division. And the proposed budget is $1,878,900. And the proposed expenditure, 79% is for personnel, only 18% is for operating, and 3% is for capital outlay. The request this year is for 2 new positions, an accounting position, as well as a budget analyst position. That budget analyst position would start in the mid-year timeframe. The capital projects that are being requested is in our finance department water building, $50,000 for some windows to be put into that building that are to be split with utilities 50/50, because utility building is also within that building. And that is our request for finance and communications.
Okay, and the staff accountant, it's essentially de-risking because you kind of have a mission-critical function that needs some backup. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. Currently, we have, of course, we have one payroll coordinator, and we have no backup for that person. And this, and so that person would be, number one, a backup. Also would be work within the accounting department doing other accounting functions as well as a backup. But the major, I guess the description duty would be as a pension liaison, because right now we have over 200 retired employees, and that is a lot of work. And that does not even count the people that terminate, because when they terminate, we have to do paperwork to return their retirement funds to them. And it is a lot of paperwork. It is a lot of employees have questions. So we're trying to make it so we have just like one point of contact. And that person, that would be their main duty, is to help maintain a good pension.
This will also relieve some pressure from our HR department. They get a lot of questions from our retirees and people about to go in the retirement system or the drop. So this would be one individual that would have the accounting expertise, but also have the expertise in retirees. Like Ms. Deborah said, we have over 200 employees that are retired through the city, and that's constantly growing every day. So I need someone that has an expertise in that to relieve pressure from finance and HR, and also to be an accountant, a staff accountant as well.
All right. And the business analyst will help us get a little bit better understanding of what's going on in the city?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll get some KPIs out of that business analyst.
That is our goal.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Do you need a motion for this department?
No, sir.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, the second department within the administration division is human resources, and their proposed budget this year is $1,178,900. 69% of their budget is for personnel, 31% is for operating. As far as personnel, they're not asking for any new personnel, but they are wanting to convert a part-time receptionist to a full-time position. And some of their operational enhancement is a $45,000 for a learning management system and content, and $23,000 for an additional NeoGov modules.
All right, so the part-time to full-time, that's going to, instead of covering the desk, having someone from HR cover the desk?
That is correct. That'll help us with coverage on Friday, so I don't have to take someone that's doing their normal HR duties to cover the desk. It also allows me to have a part-time person that goes to full-time that can help with our filing paperwork and assist in HR. This person works directly with HR, so it gives them an extra hand.
Okay. And the senior analyst to HCM and benefits manager?
Yeah, that would be a position we were to have. That would just be upgrading that position, well-deserved. She works hard for the city. This is just a move up for another senior position in the city. Next year, we'll probably come back and ask for another position, because every time we hire an employee, that's more workload for our HR. So they work hard behind the scenes that people don't realize, but
Okay.
hopefully next year we can add another HR analyst for them.
And for the learning management system, will that allow us to decrease the training budget in some of the other departments?
That is our goal. I mean, we're hoping to do some training citywide, but it won't decrease the actual budget overall for training.
Okay. What kind of content's going to be in that learning management system?
It's a lot of professional development. So we haven't always done a very good job in the past about, bringing people up to supervisor and executive positions, and just kind of throwing them to the wolves, for lack of a better way to put it. So this will help in training those people up so that they can grow in their careers. So it helps with succession planning as well.
Yeah, that's certainly something we need here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. Any questions from council? All right, let's go.
And the last department within the administration division is the facilities division. And their proposed budget for 2027 is $518,400. They are requesting a few new positions. The first one is administrative assistant, which that position will be shared between facilities, fleet maintenance, as well as the IT department, 40, 40, and 20. They're also asking for a facilities maintenance support technician and a generator maintenance and inspection technician. Also, within their budget, they have several of smaller improvement and repair projects that, and for the City Hall Public Service Building and as well as the Police Department. But these are just repairs and maintenance, is that we're keeping the buildings up to date because, they are, I guess, how old are they now?
The police department was occupied in 2016. Public Services Building was 2017, and City Hall 2019.
Okay. Yeah, I see. This looks like standard maintenance, paint, parking lot sealant, AC repairs, boiler, police department, replacing some extremely worn carpet, and doing some exterior maintenance. For the facilities maintenance and inspection tech, help me understand that position.
I can explain that, unless you want Mr. Webb to come up. But I've merged our fleet maintenance under facilities, which is the IT department for Webb. It just makes more sense to have it under one group since we have a facility group. I want to put fleet under there. So that's creating a position for them, the administrative assistant. If you've ever been to City Hall, the individual that runs our facilities is usually in the office a day and a half, where instead of being on the road, this be someone that can do the paperwork and assign some tasks. The support maintenance tech, that's just to help throughout all of our buildings. That we're growing, we're adding buildings as we go with different grants. So that's just to bring more staff in-house. I don't have to subcontract anything.
Okay, and the generator?
The generator, we have over 170 generators at our lift stations. All of our new buildings are connected to generators, just preventive maintenance, so we can keep them up and running.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of generators, and we want those lift stations running.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Drew.
I had a quick question.
Yes, sir.
for Drew and Holly, and it's probably going to be covered later on, but I hate to even mention this word, but it's going to happen again. It's happened in my lifetime many, many times, and y'all too. I don't want to get caught like, not picking on Bay County District Schools, but after Hurricane Michael, I think they were way underinsured on all their buildings, and we got a lot of buildings now that we spend a lot of money on. Are we well covered on all these buildings?
Yes, we are.
If we took a loss, that we could replace them with what we have, or would we?
Yeah, so we actually have our insurance company, and we have consultants that come in and they evaluate the buildings. And Julie could probably tell you exactly when they were here. They were here not too long ago and looked at all the facilities, and that's one of the things they're looking at, is to make sure that you're not undercover.
Yeah, like, you don't think about the police station being 10 years old, but I mean, it costs a lot more today than it did in 2016. So I just want to make sure we're keeping up with the insurance on them if we do have to replace some of these buildings one day. So
We are. and
We
staff's
are
done-
doing that.
Yes, sir. Staff's doing a great job of keeping up to date on our insurance.
Good deal. That's all.
Thank you, Councilman Casso. Further comments on this department? Okay,
Legal?
keep going.
Okay, our next department is the legal department, and their proposed fiscal budget this year for '27 is $720,000. It is an increase over our last year's budget, and we have over 18% from the original amended budget. And this is due because of the increased legal expenditures that were unforeseen from the fire union negotiations and development. So we have not only our legal, but we also have legal expenditures in that, within legal department for some of the other attorneys as well.
We had to bring in specialized legal counsel.
Yes, sir.
That is correct. We've had to bring legal counsel in from Miami. That was $100,000, and just our legal staff itself, helping with that, with getting the union up, was another $50,000 in-house. So it was a total of about $150,000 for the collective bargaining portion of the fire department.
Okay. I noticed, it's not in this tabbed sheet, but it's later on, that is, once we get through this period, that is expected to go back down.
We're hoping to go back down after we do the first collective bargain. The years after that, it should settle out. The first one will be the first big one.
Okay. Mr. Davis, do you have anything to add?
I'll just tell you that as we go forward, we're working on getting fully up to speed on all of the collective bargaining issues that we need to know. I'm going down to a conference in October to get a little bit more educated on that aspect of labor relations, and so ideally, we would reduce those outside counsel costs. Even as we continue to have collective bargaining, things that we have to deal with over the years, we will probably eliminate some of that outside counsel and certainly those costs. So I anticipate the budget will go back down.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Deborah? I'm sorry, any other comments from the council?
No, the biggest thing is we have a bunch of travel to these conferences and things. Sometimes these conferences, I want to make sure we're getting things out of it, like beneficial, that are going to lower our stuff. So all the travel that's in here, I want to make sure that we're utilizing these conferences to learn and bring back something to the city to make us better. So I do see a lot of travel and a lot of people that are going, but I want to make sure we're bringing back things that make us better as a city, not just going to travel just to travel.
No. We get a lot of good stuff back from it, not just the classes itself, the vendors at the booths, and also the networking that we get from it, because we're not reinventing the wheel. So if we have an issue or another city has an issue, we can learn from their mistakes.
Right, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Councilman Register, I also noticed I know they cut a lot of the training and travel, but I also did notice there's a lot of travel. Okay.
Okay, so the next department is the planning department. Their proposed budget for '27 is $537,740. We'll say probably this is the hardest budget department to work with as far as trying to figure out what to do. 73% of the proposed budget's for personnel and 27% is for operating. Not asking for new positions, no new machinery equipment, absolutely nothing.
Well, every year, you make it hard on us. Don't want nothing over there in planning. All right. Any commentary from the council? Questions? Okay. Thank you.
So let's move on to our first public safety, and that is our law enforcement division. The proposed budget for '27 is $23,400,150. This year, they're asking for no new positions. And for the equipment, they are requesting 6 replacement vehicles, which is in the cycle of their replacement vehicles, 5 replacement ATVs, as well as a portable restroom trailer. Some of the additional enhancements are $450,000 for mutual aid, $100,000 for spring brake rental equipment, and $30,000 for TASER renewal and replacements. Their capital projects are the K-9 facility, $3,073,000. And these are being funded by $1 million from state appropriation grant and $1 million from impact fees. As
So,
well,
basically, two-thirds
for the funded general.
funded from either police impact and state, or state appro. Okay. And thank you to our state legislatures for that state appropriation. We really appreciate it.
And then also the East End substation capital project is $1,815,000 with a funding source of $600,000 from an HMPG grant and $300,000 from impact fees. And you can see that through their requested proposed budget, 58% is for personnel and 24% is capital outlay with 18% in operating.
Okay.
Be a big year for capital for police.
Yeah, big year for capital, but no new positions. Chief? Okay. Just have you come up and help me understand the new record management system.
Yes, sir. We've been with the same records management system, I mean, for well over probably approaching 30 years now. It is, talking with IT, it's had some challenges, it's stated, and it's time to look to change. So last year and the year before, we came to the council asking for an improvement in the RMS. Speaking of conferences, we vetted several different RMS companies, and after looking at everything, comparing everything, we've actually found that the RMS at the county, Panama City, and all the other local municipalities that are currently using is actually more beneficial to our operations, specifically because of our mutual aid component when it comes to our unified command structure. So after speaking to the sheriff, we'll be able to reduce that cost. I think it was $300,000 we originally budgeted, and we brought that back down to about $60,000. That's and then there'll be a small recurrence fee, but we would be requesting to jump onto the same records management system that all the other local law enforcement agencies are using, so we could talk and share information.
A nice example of service consolidation right there.
Sir.
And there are access controls so that, the records don't necessarily cross boundaries unless we indicate they need to?
Yes, sir. There are state laws and requirements in regards to criminal justice information that we have to follow, as well as every other agency has to follow. We are an accredited law enforcement agency, so is the sheriff's office, and we are held by standards and policies and procedures that we are audited on every 3 years to ensure we are in compliance with those records retention laws. So as far as security requirements and parameters that we have in place to ensure all that information is private, all of that's in place and will stay in place when we jump over to new RMS.
Okay. Questions or commentary from the council on that or any other aspect of the police budget?
Chief, this portable restroom trailer, what will you use that for?
Yes, so once they took our high-speed single-wide, double-wide trailer behind Edgewater Way that we were utilizing the substation for about 25 years, we have no footprint on the east end of the beach when it comes to structure. So during the 2 months of spring, roughly, we have to set up temporary shops over there so our officers could deploy out of so they could get out on the street a little bit quicker. We set up a command bus. Well, the command bus does not have a restroom. So for the deployment operations, we found this year that a lot of officers were having to go into either Walmart or local establishment to relieve themselves, and it's just an unsafe sort of environment. So we need a restroom trailer that we could set up with our command post so we could be a little bit more efficient.
I think it's a great idea, but I noticed when Mark or the utilities department had the big water break, those guys were down there 3 or 4 days. So is that something, if it happened during spring break, I know you couldn't let us use it for other departments, but is that something that they could set up down there? Because those guys have to get out of the hole and go down, like you said, to relieve themselves down at the closest gas station.
No, 100%, sir. You know, we all share equipment within the city to be operational, and they'll be able to utilize it anytime that their needs would arise, just as long as it's not in operation. So
it's just self-contained.
That's correct.
Is that something, Mark, you could utilize?
And vice versa, we could buy one and they could use ours.
Yeah, I just noticed that down there. Those guys were down there for 3 or 4 days, and if you had something right there, they wouldn't have to leave the job site. So
Do we need to split that?
They'll just have to clean it before they return it.
And you evaluated the purchase over rental, or is that a rental fee?
Yes, so we were looking at rentals this past year, and the actual cost of the rental, because of the unknown deployment of the time frame, we didn't know if we were going to need them for, you're talking about the rental trailer or the other rental equipment?
The trailer.
Okay, yeah, so we looked at for about 2 month rental of this trailer, and it would have been upwards to, $7,000 to $8,000 for 1 year. This trailer we could have in existence for well over.
Mayor, we also need this for disaster relief when we send our troops out there for hurricanes, and that'd be a moment's notice, so we decided to purchase one, so we have it for our staff, for major events, hurricanes, when we have to travel.
And special events. I mean, these things could be, we're going to deploy it into all of our major special events along. Everywhere we have our command bus set up, we'll have our distress room trailer set up too.
I think it's a great idea. It's just, we probably should have done it years ago, so.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Dad.
It's a big department. Thanks for keeping it tight this year, Chief. All right. Any further questions or comments on police? Seeing none, let's go.
Okay, so our next public safety department is a fire department. This fire department budget as a total is proposed is $15,497,220. This proposed budget is for the 3 divisions within the fire department. It's the fire rescue, beach safety, as well as fire inspections that we broke out this year, because it has grown and been such a big department. We'll start with our fire rescue division. Their 27 proposed budget is $11,513,000. They're not asking for any new positions. You can see that 63% of their proposed budget is for personnel, with 20% in operating and 17% in capital outlay. They are requesting a few vehicles and equipments, which will all be funded through the general fund revenue. A ladder truck for $1.8 million, a replacement chief vehicle for $84,000, and a CAD alerting system upgrade for $25,000.
It's an expensive ladder truck. What's going on with that one?
The original
All
ladder,
expensive.
the original ladder truck was gonna be about $2.4 million. We worked with Chief Ray to bring that down. It'd be a combination of a smaller ladder truck that operate as an engine as well. We're gonna trade or auction off the old fire truck, because it's always in the shop. I don't wanna keep that on the fleet. We're hoping to get about $400,000 or $500,000 in return for that at an auction. We're hoping to get the cost closer to 1.2 to 1.3, but having a ladder truck is important not only for fire department, but for our residents as well, because it helps keep our insurance rates down. We'll need it for structure fires for ground level, and also if we can go up 3 or 4 stories at the high rises.
Okay. Are we going to get better control of whether these assets are used for actual calls versus going to luncheons, Walmart?
Yes, sir, that's something we're working on. I've already spoke to the chief about that. We're going to get more information in the future to bring that back for you guys.
Okay. Because when I see 2 engines at a free luncheon parked right next to each other, does not seem like an efficient use of city funds.
Yeah, the problem is that if there is a call, they can't go back to the station. So,
Okay.
Man, you need to operate that equipment. You can't just park it and expect it to be ready when you, so it's good to run them.
doesn't mean they have to hang out at the lunch.
But I hear what you're saying there, but,
All right. All right. There's a, help me understand, there's a lot of training costs and travel in this budget.
Yes, sir. We've already cut about 40,000, maybe 50,000 out of the budget. We've kept some of this, and Ray or the chief would be able to explain some of it more to you than I could. I come from more of the law enforcement side than the fire side. But we have cut all their low requests out to save the city some money.
Okay.
But he could answer the questions on training better than I can. I know some of it's important for his executive leadership to keep our battalion chiefs up to speed. It's always important to send my department heads to conferences for not the networking, but everything else involved, like Chief Chow just mentioned. But education is important, but I'll let it explain that if you have any questions on the actual schools or conferences.
Yeah. Chief, we got about 3 pages of travel and training Help me understand some of these moderate ones. Are these all requirements for skill development that are needed every year?
I'm sorry, can you say that
Are
again?
these all requirements for skill development that are needed every year for certifications? Or help me understand particularly some of these moderate ones.
Some of these are requirements, a lot of these are additional training. 65% of our staff have 5 years or less on the job. You can only get so much training by YouTube and knowing what you know internally from our own staff. It is my job to make sure that our team is trained and ready to protect this community. It's also my job to make sure that these men and women go home when they get done doing it. And that's a big focus of this training. We worked over the last 6 years to increase our training budget as our staff has increased, to make sure that we take care of this community and I take care of my staff. We worked really hard with that. And growing up in this department, you know, we didn't get a lot of training opportunities before. And this council and our city administration has really put a focus on the fire department the last several years, and I do appreciate that. Losing $43,000 out of that budget this year is a big hit for us. So with us trying to do continued education, increase our paramedics, and increase the knowledge on the young firemen and women that we have with us, it's imperative that we hold that budget.
Okay. So is all of it required for keeping certifications, or is it just professional development?
A lot of this is development and skill development.
Okay.
Didn't we hire a training person for the fire department in last year's budget?
We have an open position for that at the
So,
moment, yes.
so we're not, we haven't been able to utilize or find someone to do the training in-house.
We haven't filled that spot yet.
It would seem to me that it might be more cost-effective to try to do some of this training in-house as opposed to,
And that is the goal, and getting that position approved in last year's budget was the anticipation that this person would bring a lot of these trainings in-house and cut some of this cost. So having that $43,000 cut already, we're hoping to fill that spot in the upcoming budget year, and then that'll make up the difference.
can we make that a priority?
Ma'am, it is a priority. We put it out 2 or 3 times. We just can't find the right individual to fill that spot. So we're going to put it back out again. That's a very important part for the fire department, so we got to make sure we select the right person to fill that spot so we get the proper training. We just haven't had any luck the last couple times we put it out.
That has the background to actually provide some of this training.
That's correct.
Okay. I wanted to move on to the, what was it, the forcible entry training prop?
Yes, sir.
That's for the fire training tower?
Yeah, so we'll be able to move that from station to station, but primarily it's at the fire training tower. We utilize that to teach forcible entry tactics into all types of businesses and structures and personal homes. It teaches our staff techniques, how to mitigate damage to private properties and commercial properties, and as well as we teach law enforcement those techniques as well, and other departments. We have some very skilled, highly trained individuals that has resulted from this training and training budget that we have had, and we're fortunate enough that we get called upon to teach the other agencies around us. I will assist.
So is that a replacement for what's in the?
We have one right now, and it's quite several years old. I don't know the years to be exact. We've had at least 10, and those props take a beating. They need a replacement, so.
Is this related to the training tower?
It's an asset that can be used at the training tower or any other station that's portable.
Okay.
So, we've taken it to Springfield, Callaway. Beach PD has used it.
Okay. I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to this CAT alerting system upgrade.
It's something we
The CAT
definitely
upgrade.
need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, for the public, the CAT is, why don't you just explain it, Chief?
Yes, a computer-aided dispatching. So the county's been working for several years to upgrade our dispatching center to modern technology, and we desperately need it. It's old analog technology. It moves us into the digital age, where it's push-button dispatching. All your dispatching matrix, we've been working for the last couple of years to line out those response matrix And now instead of relying on a dispatcher to make sure that proper units are getting dispatched to whatever call comes in, now it's all predetermined, push button, quicker response times, more efficiency, and redundancy built in.
Huge efficiency increase on that.
Okay.
And we're reimbursing for, are we reimbursing for EMT, or is that a bonus for the $7,700 for advanced medical licenses?
Oh, and the training, we're paying for that training, yes, sir.
And then talk to me about Orlando Fire Conference. What's the benefit of Orlando Fire?
Yeah, so we send staff down there every year. There's just advanced trainings you can get locally when it comes to advanced tactics and firefighting. And that's just how we further develop our young firemen. We're fortunate enough to have the best trained firefighters in this area. I am proud to say that, and you should be proud to have them here protecting you. It's a benefit.
When you send those 3 guys, do they bring back the knowledge and
That is
retrain
a
everybody else?
requirement, yes, sir.
Okay.
When we send people off to get training and higher education, we expect it to be shared. And that's one of the traditions of fire service is we try to train ourselves out of our position, right? And bring up the next generation. And it's critical now with our young staff that we have.
I know the fire department's come a long way since.
We've done a lot of work with your help over the last 6 years since I've been in this position, and we needed to. We didn't have any protocols in place for, replacement of apparatus or trucks or vehicles or stations, and it was very knee-jerk reaction in the past. Now we have a plan. Everything's planned out. Those plans get pushed. I get it. We want to be fiscally responsible, but this is not a cheap business, and these are things that we need.
I don't know what, over the past 6-8 years, we've actually got NFPA standard staffing to a certain degree.
We're close. According to NFPA 1710, I'm supposed to be putting 43 firemen on a high-rise on initial alarm. We're putting 19. I don't know of many departments that can meet that requirement.
You can get.
It's something to shoot for. We are a lot better off than we were, and our automatic aid and mutual aid agreements with other agencies help us in that respect. Those big events, career events, are more than any one department can handle. So we greatly benefit from our relationships with those.
Anything else from the council? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Chief.
So the second department within the fire division is the beach safety. Their proposed budget for '27 is $2,264,900. They are not requesting any new positions, and the equipment they are requesting in this budget is a jet ski and a ATV. And you'll see that 78% of their proposed budget is for personnel expenditures, 20 is for operating, and just 2 is for capital outlay. Any questions, comments?
Anything from the council? Anything from the council on this?
Seems like, I brought it up in my one-on-one with you guys, but it seems like an awfully expensive jet ski for 30 grand. I mean, I've bought skis my whole life and rented skis on the beach. I don't know what a high output, but I did some research. I see them anywhere online from $15,000 to $20,000 when they're decked out with the equipment needed. So I don't know if we can bring that down, or we've already priced that, or can we find another vendor? Can we ship one in? Can we find it for somewhere else to get it for 20 grand instead of 30 grand?
I can let Ray answer that one. I know the one that Dr. Merritt gave us, donated to us, was about a $30,000 jet ski as well. But I'll let the chief explain that one.
But that $30,000 jet ski was for use in like Hawaii, right? Chief?
Yeah, obviously, we'll do our due diligence to make sure we get the best deal for the city and the community. This not only just includes a ski, but it also includes the rescue sled that goes behind it. So a ski by itself is just one portion of it. So this is the complete package, the graphics that we'll put on it, the rescue sled that'll go behind it, and then, yeah, if we can get a better deal, obviously
My question, I guess, with the rescue sled and everything, we routinely down for maintenance, these skis, could we not rotate while one's in maintenance, take the sled off one and just buy a ski? And is that even interchangeable? I don't know how that works.
Well, we want to have a sled for each one.
Okay.
A case in point, just like for the air show, it's all hands on deck. Ironman, it's on all hands on deck. And as our beach safety division grows, we're able to expand our footprint. So the goal is to have them all out there and available to make as many rescues as possible. But yeah, they do take a beating. They see a lot of use.
Oh, yeah.
This environment is brutal and it is rough on equipment, and maintenance is a big part of it.
You have to do training on these also, not just anybody can jump on.
Yes, sir. We bring in outside trading agency to certify our guys and all in personal watercraft rescue. And,
Now, during a single red or double red, when you're getting a lot of calls, do you have that jet ski patrolling already in the water, or are you pulling it behind a four-wheel drive truck on the beach and going and launching
and
it?
Daryl could better answer that. A lot of it depends on what we're seeing as far as crowd density, what we're seeing as expected rips, our flag conditions. Operationally, we'll pre-deploy those or have them on the ready at the towers, ready to deploy. So it depends on the environment. Yes, sir.
We've made significant improvements in the beach safety over the last few years, and a lot of it's due to the TDC stepping up and giving us some money. Holly, Drew, can you guys kind of give us a rough idea of how much money we're getting from them, or how much of this we're paying for ourselves is 2.2 million?
Yep, we're letting them pay for the full 2.2
Yeah,
million.
their TDC is 2.2.
Yeah, it's funding the whole.
It's all funded. by
Yeah.
Okay. And how many lifeguards does that get you? 20?
Yes, sir.
And some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time?
We're all full-time now.
All full-time year-round now?
That we made was to have, because we couldn't hire the part-time, right?
Yeah.
I mean.
We made the transition. Yes, sir. We did have a lot of seasonals, but we're full-time.
Have y'all moved into the old building down there?
Yes, sir, we have.
Is that working out for you pretty good?
It is a game changer for our team to have a place to go to be able to hold meetings and do reports and do all the trainings and not be stuck under the pier. So it is a big change for us. Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. Okay, thank you.
And we will get the best deal for the jet ski. We'll look for state contracts, piggybacks, and if we can't find one that we like, we'll put it out for quotes. So we'll get you the best price on it. That's just earmarked for the sled and everything else with the graphics.
Okay.
Yeah, this will come back to us once we get quotes on it.
If it goes over 25,000, it'll come back to you.
Good on the council. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the final division within the fire department is the fire inspections. Their proposed budget this year is $1,719,320. There are no new positions requested. And they have, the equipment they are asking for is office workstations within their, that open area within their fire inspection office. And you can see that 70% is for personnel and 30% is for operating.
Okay, 10 workstations?
Yes, sir.
Is this a rotation through or
No,
the new additional workstations?
it'll be the additional workstations. They'll be in the open bay where the water finance used to be, water billing. We'll put some workstations there. They have a lot of business they do, so to give more of a work area.
Like
You'll
an
see the
office
same thing with the
redesign.
building department as well. They'll be
Yeah.
doing the same workstations.
Okay. Anything from council further on fire inspections?
Are we able to split out on the inspection side, costs for regular annual inspections that the fire department does and STR? Is that something?
I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. I think that would be a Captain Legletter question.
Okay. Just, so we know where everything's going.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay, so the next division is, our department is the building department. Their proposed budget is $3,243,900. They are not requesting any new positions. The new equipment requested is a truck replacement and 2 replacement ATVs. The enhancements that are being proposed is the new BTR software and implementation, a new permitting and licensing module software for about $85,000. I'll go back, the BTR software is $150,000. The office layout improvements, which is the same that fire inspections just requested, and a document scanning service. Their personnel expenditures make up 59% of their proposed budget, and 37% is operating in the proposed budget.
This new BTR software let us get off that old platform?
Yes.
I'm shocked what we ask our vendors to do to pay us. It is just, imagine running a business and the shopping cart checkout was difficult. Just insane. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Only request I would have is Mel talk to whoever the beach safety is getting their ATVs from. They're getting them for 10,000 years or 13,000, I think. So maybe you guys can figure out how to get them for 10 as well.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe we can get a discount when we buy more than one.
That's it.
purchasing.
Economy of share.
I don't know, maybe building and planning's got different ATVs than the beach, I don't know, but anyways.
So we've seen this document scanning service in several places in the budget. Are we buying the equipment and doing it in-house, or are we sending these records out to be scanned? How are we doing that?
I think most of it'll be outsourced, but we'll be able to do some things internally as well with some part-time, temporary help. The bulk of it's to get all of these paper files and free up a lot of the storage space so the ceiling above us doesn't fall in on us one of these days. It's pretty full up there, and we're just flat out of space. And this will allow things to be more searchable as well, instead of having to go upstairs and rifle through a bunch of boxes trying to find something. If you do the document scanning right, then you can do search tools and find things a lot easier. So there'd be a combination of both. We're not buying a bunch of high-powered document scanning equipment.
Okay, thank you.
How old's the current code enforcement truck?
I don't know the year on that one. I just know it's at the end of the life.
Typically, end of life for us is what, 10 years?
Code enforcement is probably a little bit older than that. It might be 10 because they do take theirs on the beach and double red flags, and it all tears up our trucks.
Okay.
Anything else from the council? Seeing none, let's move on.
Okay, our next division.
And just a heads up, I'm going to call recess after street.
Okay.
All right.
Our next division is the street department. Their proposed budget is $9,345,624. 48% of their proposed budget is tied up in capital outlay. Personnel is at 19%, and operating is at 32%. They are requesting 2 new positions to be shared with other departments. They're requesting an engineer to be shared with from the street department, stormwater, and CRA, and a CRA maintenance worker that the street department will share 20%, and CRA will be at 80%. The equipment requested in this proposed budget is a boom axe. $300,000 will be shared by street, stormwater, and CRA. A 310 backhoe, $180,000 shared by street and CRA 50/50. They're requesting some lawnmowers as well as 2 side-by-sides, a replacement truck, and a concrete mixer. Some of the capital roadway projects are the Mandy Lane, which is proposed budget of $2.2 million, and the funding source for this project is the 1/2 cent discretionary tax. Also, $1.5 million for the roadway resurfacing, and that will also be funded with the 1/2 cent discretionary tax. And also being funded with the 1/2 cent discretionary taxes for $500,000 for the Griffin Ashley improvement. And they also have the Public Works Safe Room at $1,467,000. And $2.4 million is project shared by the street at 60%, stormwater 30%, and CRA 10%. And it will also be partially funded, $600,000 by the HMPG grant. Also within this department is the request from Bayway.
Okay. John, could you help us understand these couple new positions? Positions are expensive.
Yep, keeps giving.
Yeah. You add HR, and then you add retirement and accounting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So with the engineer position, you see we shared across all three divisions within Public Works. The primary bulk of the request is fewful, but the main driver is the new requirements behind the new permit that we have to, there's a lot of, that goes into it. I've actually been a part of the community in the past. I was hired to come in and help clean up because they got into quite a lot of trouble so I'm intimately familiar with what, what is required to maintain and make sure that we're compliant with our MS4 and our NPDS requirements. So that's a big bulk of it. But also,
help me understand that. What permit?
Our new MS4 permit.
Okay. What's the MS4 permit?
That's our citywide stormwater permit that we're
okay.
we're in charge of the
So we're able to
stormwater for
operate,
the
yeah.
entire city.
Okay.
And so there's, I can give you kind of examples. Right now, we're writing over 30 SOPs for the different, all the different parts of it, and then we have to track everything we do as far as every time it gets inspected. We have maintenance plans for everything. We have to, it's just a lot, just on that alone, but it also helps us because, as you guys are aware, we're doing the community and local program. We're doing all of those designs and CEI and everything like that in-house. Likewise with the roadway resurfacing, a project, just that one project alone would be $200,000 to $300,000 in design, and then again another $150,000 to $300,000 in CEI to contract that out. We're trying to do all of that kind of stuff in-house. I can give you more examples, like just for instance on Forenzo, we got a quote for CEI on that project that was $100,000. We did that one in-house. We were able to save those funds. Like Randy Road coming up. We're doing kind of half and half because the thing within our department is we have a lot of skill, we have a lot of talent, but time is kind of the biggest critical path for us. Is in that we manage 40 to 50 projects at any given time, in addition to all the reviews. And then again, also with the new regulatory requirements that we're required to maintain. So we have a lot of skill, we have a lot of talent, but we're burning engineers by running them so hard.
How many engineers do you have now?
I have 3.
3?
Yes, sir.
This will be a fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was really impressed by your presentation at the last council meeting. I think you're really turning things around very quickly for the public in that department, so I'm in favor of this one.
And then you've got one engineer that's getting close, aren't they? Yeah.
And that's part of it too, right? We, we have, I think, only 2 years left of Kathy, holding on, and she will be retiring. So helping to transition that role, there's a lot of, there's a lot of volume there that needs to be made up. And so we need to bring someone on and to start learning and start training. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
John, question for you with these
well,
mowers.
you thought you got away.
Before you do
I should have
go,
checked with the council.
I hate to keep harping on equipment, but the guys, do we have blowers? One of the main complaints I get from residents is we maintain the right of way and then we just fill up the main road with grass clippings.
No, that's a fantastic question.
Are we expected to blow off the road after we cut the right of way?
We are, and that is something we're working on. It's actually a function of our lawnmowers themselves. Right now, our current lawnmowers, they blow off to the side. And so as we're mowing, we'll blow it onto the sidewalk or into the street versus the new lawnmowers that we're looking to get actually blow it behind us, right? Okay. And so that is something that, these lawnmowers that we have, they're very, very old, they're falling apart.
Right.
And so the new technology, there is help with that. So one, it cuts down on staff time to go back and blow off the sidewalk or blow off the road.
Right.
So we're definitely aware of that.
People are super excited to get the right-of-way cut, and then all of a sudden they go back and the road's full of grass clippings, and it's like, okay, well, that looks aesthetically pleasing, and then
Yes,
now
sir.
we have this problem. So I'm
Yes, sir.
glad to know that those mowers mulch a different direction. I guess.
Yes, sir. That was something that we looked at. We've talked probably more than I care to admit about trying to figure that problem out, and we're
But
definitely
your
aware.
expectation is for them to go back and blow the roadway off?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the pull behinds, the big blowers they use on golf courses, et cetera, that you can hook and it blows it off? You can do it in one pass really, really quickly. It's a giant blower that hooks to the back of a piece of equipment, like a carry-all, potentially.
I have not, but I will
I
look
think that
into
would
it.
help clean up your roadways significantly, and then continue to maintain the street sweeper as well. I've seen it working, quite a bit in the neighborhood, so I've got a lot of compliments from residents that the streets are swept, so you guys are doing a good job with that. I hope that is being maintained.
The street sweeper?
Yes.
You'll see that later on, we are actually requesting a new street sweeper because it is at the end of its service life. And we could talk about that when we get to the CRA part, but the street sweeper is not a mechanical one. It basically, when you bring it in, it sandblasts the entire thing, the entire inside of it. The new street sweepers, there's a couple new benefits. Everything inside of it's mechanical, so it comes up onto a conveyor belt, and so the sand is harnessed differently. It's easier for offloading, but the main benefit of it is that it doesn't require CDL to drive. So right now, we have a heavy equipment operator that's basically has to be in the street sweeper because it street sweeps every single day. That also frees up that position. It's not a requirement to be CDL. And then also the type of street sweeper we're getting is for the same price, we're trying to get a commercial grade street sweeper. So it's bigger, it's better, it's new technology.
It's great. I mean, we can spend all the money in the world on infrastructure, but if we don't maintain it and keep it looking nice and clean, then what's it for? So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that also is the street sweeper is a part of our MS4 requirement as well. So that is part of our permit that we have to maintain. And so again, going back to the stuff, we have to track how much every time the street sweeper comes back, how much is in the hopper. We measure it. It's part of our reporting requirements. We basically have to report on everything.
Cool.
Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good on council? Yeah, all right. For Bayway, it's,
We're gonna take a break, you said?
once we get through this department.
We just got Bayway.
Yeah, this is the last thing, unless y'all want to pick up something else.
Wait,
in
we're
this-
getting
in
antsy,
this
isn't he?
department.
Go ahead.
For Bayway, it's, where are we at for Bayway?
I cut it in half. They requested $86,000. I cut it down to 43, and then their on-demand, I left at $4,275.
Okay. I'd be willing to increase that on demand. I have a question for our TPO members. Could you guys talk to the TPO about getting a different either vehicle or a more express service on the beach? Because look at the number of getting stuck behind the number 7 bus that seems basically empty every time I see it. Even when I drive past that on the multimodal transit lanes, that bus takes up seems like more than that entire lane. Did you talk to Bayway about getting either a smaller vehicle or more of an express route? I know there's state requirements for that, but can we get a little bit better efficiency or something, or move closer to on-demand rather than having a big empty bus that is also functions as a giant billboard for lawyers driving down the city once or twice an hour?
I haven't had that discussion, but it's not a bad discussion to have. But we have had discussions about trying to find places where they could pull off into like a Publix parking lot or off the side into a business where they're not blocking traffic, but we haven't been successful. The businesses wanting that. that trolley and pulling off into their parking lot. But that's not a bad idea because I've seen it myself and been stuck. And you have a few people on it and a 16-passenger van would do probably just as good. But anyhow, it wouldn't take up a lane and a half. And
Yeah.
like you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, we
can
could
do that.
definitely have that
Yeah.
discussion.
That's
Yeah.
a good discussion to have.
Yeah, so two things. One, a smaller vehicle, and then two, if they're able to do more of an express route, look at the number of stops we have. You know, it feels like it stops
Every 10 feet?
yeah, every 10 feet. You know, could they prioritize the stops where we have the multimodal lanes? Do we have to have a bunch of stops where we don't have the multimodal lanes? Anyway, it's just something I would request our TPO members bring up with Bayway.
We can do that.
All right, everyone good on street?
Sir, can I have you guys make a motion if you guys are good with the $4,275 for the on-demand and $43,349 for the fixed route? Can I get a motion and get that approved?
I have a question for the on-demand. I'm surprised it's so low, honestly. Why aren't people, some of the disadvantaged folks, the seniors, taking more advantage of the on-demand? Seems like the
Unless they're
best,
still driving.
best service, I hope not.
Well.
I believe they might get some funding for that too.
Okay.
That helps offset that, but I think that is the more functional
That is, yeah,
of the two, because that really helps our seniors out even more, being able to be picked up at their house rather than having to walk to a bus stop.
you know. Okay, I mean, if that's what they're asking for, that's what they're asking for. Any further discussion before we entertain a motion on the Bayway for 49 and then
It would be $4,275 for on-demand, $43,349 for their fixed route.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Ms. Mazzoni?
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Tedmer.
Yes, ma'am. All right, finished streets.
All right.
Let's take a recess until 10:40.
Sure.
Back to order.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Let's finish with street.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
They're done, they can leave, except chief.
Okay, so we will begin with the library. Their proposed budget is $367,130. This year, Bay County has a request for $241,708, which is approximately a 5.8% increase over last year.
Okay. Did they say what the increase was for?
Sir?
Did they indicate what the increase was for? They didn't mention it in their comment. I did see that they gave us some additional details, so.
Kind of hard to tell from their, they provided a bunch of
You can't-
backup, but you can't really
Can't tell.
drill down exactly on what the increase is for, but they did give each line item.
I have a question for the council on this building. You think we can separate out the use of the building from the actually library service? Because it seems when we have the public comment up here, they were talking about mahjong and family care.
Yeah, you know what? I'm like, senior center can have mahjong.
Well, it just seems like the library service is useful for residents, particularly small families, right? Small families will go there, or young families. Young families will go there, they'll check out like 6 books per kid. That's great. Do they have to have the entire, and some of our adults will, if it's not there, they'll just have the book delivered, right, to the library. Super useful. But I noticed it was mahjong and then people that just needed a quiet place to stay. I would ask the council to consider keep the library function inside that building, but have Parks and Rec start programming that building instead. Because, when I'm on the board of, this council put me on the board of Bay League of Cities, we were looking for a spot for our next quarterly meeting. Was thinking about Lindell Center, right? It was at 6 p.m. Lindell Center was busy, which is great. That means Parks and Rec is keeping that busy, useful. But the library hours, having the library keep the entire building, the library hours are dependent on our funding for the library when it seems like a decent amount of their programming is non-book material related. And I think, listen, libraries are great. The online access is great. Let's keep, just like Walmart has, a tax service inside of the Walmart building. It has the T-shirt shop inside the Walmart building. Keep it as a service inside that building. But let's take the rest of the building back and start programming it for our residents rather than just relying on Northwest Florida Regional Library System.
So you're saying get a key, and if we had a meeting like what you said about the Florida League of Cities, they go in there at 6 o'clock at night and meet for an hour or two?
Yeah, or just take out most of the adult section and let them get the books delivered.
That was the question, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't remove a bunch of stuff from the building and just make it a digital drop-off and pickup.
When you say remove a bunch of stuff, you mean remove books?
Books. If you're going to use that as a multifunction building, you're going to have to.
I think they have some rooms in there where they go for the kids, they read to kids that where they could have their meeting at.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be for the meeting. I was just using that as an example of how well Parks and Rec does programming our existing buildings, right? They had, I think it was karate there on Monday nights, which is great. So let's use that building more, all right? Let's let the homeschool families, homeschool co-ops go there. Let's give them some space. I'm looking at the PCB library page, and they got a little video scroller here, or they have a little image scroller here. And like the next to last image, it says music concerts at the library, including the Kilted Man, 2018. And take a look at that image. It's a bunch of people shoved in between the books, and they're but they're packed out.
I'm with you, man.
So
Mayor,
you're
I-
saying use that building for like karate?
What happened?
Did I hear you say that?
So,
Cheryl?
no,
you come
not,
up.
so not karate. Just as an example of how the public's using Lindell Center
Right.
in the evenings.
Right.
And for more hours, right? Right now, we have this building, I'll be honest, when I was, when I work, I don't ever get a chance to go to the library because it's 9 to 5.
Right.
Right, let's open up the hours a little bit.
I don't have a problem with opening it up, if somebody has the use like what you mentioned, but I don't know that we want to put karate in there when we've got a huge Parks and Rec division.
Don't get stuck on karate.
What's that?
Don't get stuck on
Well,
karate.
he just mentioned karate, so I
Anything,
guess he's
any
wanting to
function.
Use it for multi-purpose.
Yeah,
besides the
basically use,
library.
multi-purpose, free up some of that space, use it for a multi-purpose space.
Currently, I don't think the library is charging for using their space in there. And I think that's why Marjan ended up over there, is because they couldn't find space anywhere else.
Yeah, but
And they
it's-
worked it out
it's-
with the library to play there.
No, we built that library. The city built that library years ago.
Yeah, that's.
I understand that.
Okay.
I got that. I'm just saying that's why Marjan is there. And
Because
why
it's
some
free.
people don't use the Lindell Center is because of the fee that's associated with it.
Okay.
Especially small groups can't necessarily afford that.
I don't know. I just think a library's a library. I don't want to know if you want, I mean, if they got an extra place and you need a meeting place after hours, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't know we're going to start putting parks and recreational services in that building.
Just let people use it as a multifunctional center. That seems to be what it's being used for. It's being used for, people who need a quiet place. It's being used for mahjong. It's not being used for adults to go go through the adult bookshelves.
Yeah. I think Robin left. Before we start saying we're going to move a bunch of books and stuff out, I'd like to talk with her about that. I mean, they got meeting rooms there that we can meet in. You're familiar with it, Cheryl?
With the libraries?
Yes, yeah.
Pretty small. I think they have two small rooms.
I know
Well,
the
if
one
you-
where they do the reading for the children in the children's book room, that's a very small area.
Yes.
I would say, if the discussion is to make it a multi-use building, right?
Yeah.
Okay, from a budget standpoint, are we looking at changing budgeting for that? If not, then we can definitely flesh out what to do with the building and how we would want to do it, if that is.
Yeah, we're not going to do that at this
Yeah.
meeting. I just wanted to present it before we talked about the budget for the library.
Yeah.
Moving them from being the Northwest Florida Regional Library, from being the sole controller of that building to being a tenant inside the building, and let the public, some of our younger families, other folks, get more use out of, I mean, it's a central city asset, right?
Yeah, I
That's-
think- I mean, ultimately, it's a value proposition, right? Are we getting the greatest value for our residents' tax dollars if we're just using it as a library? And
Yeah.
I think that we ought to look deeper into that. I think we owe that to our residents to be able to look at that and look deeper into it. So I'm with you. I think it's
So you're
definitely
still
something to look
going to call it a library, but you're just going to get a key if
Sure, it's not
somebody
about
wants.
removing books and educational resources, about how do we better program the space that we have. And I think we owe that to our residents. I think that makes sense to me, so.
Well, I know we're hurting for space till we get the new building over at Frank Brown Park, so I mean, if we could,
I would have to maybe edit my recreation request for another person to be at a satellite. If Lindell's already operating, and you want things in there in the evenings, it's a lot easier for stuff at Frank Brown because we're centrally located there, but that's another potential expense, is I would need staffing over there, especially if it's after hours.
So you would have to put some staff in over there, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the person running karate in the Lindell would not be able to run programs at the library at night.
Right.
What level are we talking about for having a similar person for Lindell be in the?
Depends on how much programming you want in there. I mean, if you want five nights a week, that's a full-time person.
It's a full-time person. And what approximately would that price be?
Be probably a
With
rec
benefits?
coordinator.
Probably 60,000 with
Yeah.
benefits.
60,000?
I was going to say 70.
Yeah.
60 is better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, we'll do a head nod and see if staff can kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at there and what we can do, and
Yeah, I'd like this council, I mean, obviously, we already have, thank you, Cheryl. We already have the agenda for next week, but I'd like this council to take a look at getting a more efficient use out of that building. Reusing some of that space. It can keep the library function, keep the library service, but also expand the uses of that space.
Yes.
Let the-
Highest and best use of any city asset is.
Yeah.
paramount, So.
Okay, and so if we would consider the 60,000 to do that, that would impact overall what we would be looking at for the library.
oh, yeah.
Well, we might not need a full-time person. We would need someone there during the hours when library staff is not there. Because if you have someone to come in and provide a class, they would just come in and use the space, and the students would come in and, you know,
We
whether.
pay the contractor, so one way or another, we're going to have an expense.
I mean,
So yes,
Just
you
seems
could do
like the
a
activities
part-time,
are all
but
that can be done at the senior center.
Well, the senior center is running out of classrooms. That's one of the problems that we have over there, especially during the wintertime. The summertime, it's a different story.
Because I know this Kilted Man concert,
Yeah.
it's all seniors.
And again, they charge for their space.
Okay.
And a lot of individuals don't. And I don't know, does the library charge for these events, or they're just doing these events
No, we're
for free
paying for
to
it.
attract people in and to be a service to the community?
Yeah. I'll have to look at.
I'm okay with looking at it and seeing if, we can use it for meetings after hours, but I'm not okay with moving books out of there. It's a library. I mean,
So not ever going digital and moving to the new age of, 50,000 digital materials as opposed to, I don't know, that's a whole
Well,
nother discussion. Maybe that's-
I think we can have
Yeah,
that,
too.
I think we can have the discussion of how to use that space.
I would like to have Robin here when we have that discussion, because none of us are librarians. We don't know what else is going on down there. So I think it'd be fair to her to have her here.
I was surprised today to hear that they said they had 200 visitors a day. That was shocking to me.
I find.
200 books a day.
Oh, 200 books a day.
No, well, and 200 visitors.
Yeah, that's
mean,
what, I
that's
didn't
just-
know that there was that many
That
people.
library's well used.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to adjust the library budget at all?
I'm okay with the increase. It's probably more cost of living, 5.8%.
Okay, with the,
I'll make a motion to approve that budget, that, 241,708,
what percentage increase was that?
5.8%.
5.8.
5.8%?
We didn't do an increase last year, did we?
We
For
did
the
a
library?
4% last year.
Yeah.
What?
4% last year.
We went up last year.
And our cost of living increase that we're doing this year for our employees, is that again? 3%. So we're giving them a higher increase than we're giving our employees.
But it's not all personnel.
Yeah, I'd drop it at least
All
down to
that's
3.
going to the employees, is it?
It's not all going to the employees. That's,
There's a-
they're operating as well.
But don't we pay all the upkeep on the building and the grounds?
Yes.
We do.
We own the building shell. Everything inside belongs to the Northwest Library System. So we don't own any of the furnishings or any of the equipment inside. That's all theirs.
But we provide the electricity?
I'd have to.
It doesn't,
We do.
do we?
Looks like it's here in the budget.
Because they're
that
charging
we're
us
paying
for
the
this.
electricity
We do.
for the
We
building.
do.
Yeah.
We do the maintenance, we do the lawn maintenance.
It's our building, yeah, it's our building.
It's our building. We do all that.
Yeah. So they're looking, just for clarification, they're looking at $241,708 for this year. Our actual cost for that library is going to be $367,130. Just so everyone doesn't get hung up on, oh, well, we're only paying, no.
No, we're paying much more than that.
Yes.
It's much more, and that's why I think we need to look at what the mayor's saying, and getting the highest and best use of the space that we have to be able to offer, especially with hearing what you've got to say about Lindell getting busy,
I
especially.
don't
during
have
the
a
winter.
problem with that. Let Cheryl and Robin go over there and look at it and see what,
I'd like to see us move into the new age of digital
yeah.
books and figure out how we utilize.
Pick up,
that
drop
space
off.
better. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be other ways to more efficiently use that space, and I agree with the mayor, we got to figure out the highest and best use for the taxpayers, so.
And, and I'll say, I have a library card, and I don't think I've checked a book out from there in probably 4 years.
You use the digital side?
No.
No. Interesting.
I do.
You do?
I have a library card, but I've never set foot in the library. I borrow everything on the digital app.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree with Councilman Register. It's just, especially with delivery, right? They can get the books, within a week if they're requesting them. You know, what we're basically doing with that library, it seems like, is we're taking a warehouse and using it, using retail space for warehouse space, right? We're storing a whole bunch of books.
That may or may not be used.
That may or may not be used. I mean, you know, the kids' books, I think, that kids' side totally makes sense to me. Families go there, they check out a bunch of books. They're not going to be ordering one and two books. But for adult books, I mean, they can go online. They are there and checking their reviews. That's what they're doing, is they're getting the books delivered to the library and then using it that way. All right. I would say you want to just keep it at 3%? I don't know, do we want to calculate that? We still have a motion on the table for
The full thing.
for the full thing. Do I see a second to the motion on the table? Okay, motion dies without a second.
All right, so where do we want to land on this?
I give them 3%.
I'll make a motion to do 3% then.
Second.
Okay.
Yep.
We have a motion and a second to increase it. Their contribution, well, no, it's not a contribution.
Ours.
Yeah,
To increase our contribution.
yeah, to increase the contractual services line from last year to this year by 3%. Is that a clear enough motion?
There's not, excuse me,
Yeah.
there's more things in contractual, I think, besides just theirs. So you just want to, there's
Okay.
a little bit of other expense in contractual besides their request.
Hold on, we're about to do math.
So we have a motion and a second.
What was
Let's
last
get the
year's?
motion clear before we go forward with this.
So it'll be 235, 355 for the
you.
contribution to the library.
235, 355. Okay, let's, who did the motion?
Mr. Casto.
Councilman Casso, would you be willing to amend your motion with that number?
Hold on. Here you go. Here's the number.
So, Holly, explain it to us, please. Or Joey. So what, they're asking for 5.8%, but that's not all for their personnel. That's for
Yep, they have-
maintaining some parts of the building and stuff.
Not necessarily maintenance, but they have other, they have their copy machines, their printers, their office supplies, their insurance. So their internal operating.
So what the 367, 130 you have up on here, this 3% would add to that, is that what you're saying?
No,
Vice
it would
Mayor.
bring that number down. The 367, 130 is the total library operating budget, which is the city's expenses for maintaining the building, the electricity, the insurance on the building. And then a sub-part of that is the contribution to the library system, for them to come in and run the building for us.
So our contribution to the library staff and internal of the building, right? They're asking for 241,708. We're proposing 235,355. The total number of 367,130 would be what the city takes care of with the electricity and all the external buildings and maintenance, and plus, well, I haven't done the math to adjust, but that would include the 241,708 that they originally
Right,
requested.
so the 367 would be reduced by the same
Reduced
amount,
by-
the delta between the 241 and the
Yeah,
235.
$6,500.
Mr. Davis, from a rules perspective, we have a motion and a second. Should we just go for a vote on this one or clarify the motion?
You need to either do one or the other. I mean, you need to either amend the motion and vote on it, or you need to vote on the motion that you have on the table.
And the motion's 3%. 3% is still the same number, right?
Well, there was a wording issue of contractual obligation.
Yeah, well, that was.
I think you want
So-
3% increase of the, over last year's library request is what I'm hearing. you
That's, yeah, flat increase, yes. It's pretty simple. We don't need to
So
throw
we
the
can
number out there.
Okay.
Might keep it simple, 3% over last year.
Okay. Councilman Castro, to be clear, I mean, we already have one motion and a second on the table. Are you amending your motion to be the 3%?
3%.
Or that's the clear motion, 3%?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to increase contribution over last year by 3%. Any further discussion from the council?
I would like to have Cheryl and Robin meet over there and look at that building and see what they can come up with. And if one of us wants to go down there and look at it with them, I just don't know. We got an abundance of room there, but I want the highest and most best efficient use of it too. I'm not opposed to using it after hours when it's not being used, but I just think that let them take a look at it.
Okay.
See
Yeah.
if she's got some areas where she could take some books out and move, like Councilman Reddish said, to the more modern age of, that she doesn't need those anymore, but that's her, she knows what she rents out of there more than we do, because none of us are librarians.
That's right.
Okay. Completed discussion? Okay.
Is that my direction?
What's that?
Just want to clarify, that's my direction, to have staff look at it with the librarian? to see what kind of-
Yeah, staff and the librarian see how we can get a maximize use of that space, potentially removing,
Potentially modernizing
potentially modernizing it.
how we use our library.
I just want to make sure I had the majority of you agreeing to that.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
I'd be happy to work on that too, if you'd like.
Yeah.
If you'd like someone from council to be part of the discussion with that.
Yeah, I think everyone good with, all
Mary doing it.
Yes, please, go.
right, the councilperson? Yes, okay. And then Mary will be our liaison there. Back to the motion. Have we finished discussion on the motion? Okay. Ms. Fazzoni?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Register?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn?
Yes.
Mayor Tedmer?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, moving on. Recreation.
Okay, Recreation is the last department within the general fund that we will present today. Their proposed budget is $15,484,100. They are not requesting any personnel this year. The machinery and equipment that they are requesting is all being funded by general revenue, and it's an $80,000 forklift, $40,000 for utility vehicles, $39,000 for golf carts, a $30,000 drag, and $27,000 for mowers. The capital projects for the Recreation Department is the Frank Bell Park Community Center and Safe Room is $6,810,000, and that's the 2027 portion. Is partially funded by a $4.4 million HMPG grant, and the balance funded will be from the impact fees if they are available. Also, new pickleball courts of $1,395,000. The Miracle League resurfacing at $250,000. The new park shop, $458,000. And the North Complex and Lindell pool for $220,000. I mean, roof for $220,000. I don't know why I said pool. Roof, the roof, not.
Okay, North Complex and Lindell Roof, okay. No, I thought that was a different fund, okay. So we have those projects, and then the machinery are
The bulk is capital.
is all yeah, we got $9,100,000 in capital, safe room, pickleball courts, Miracle League resurfacing. I know you, Cheryl, if you could come up, please. I know you tried to repair the Miracle League, and it looks like it just needs a full resurface.
Yeah, we have looked at it, and the option I think we want to go with is a real low mat turf. One of the problems with this system is we believe that it's an asphalt base underneath. We started with rubber tiles, if I'm sure Paul remembers, but those aged over time, and so we went with this matte surface over the top. The adhesive eventually failed around the corners, and there was some water intrusion, and so it's kind of like a big carpet. When it gets wet, this surface has been particularly difficult to dry and takes, if we have a shower at 9 o'clock, the 9:30 game is not happening. So when you go to the turf, it would dry instantly. And I'd also like to be able to run some other, being that it'd be that type of surface, we could do some other little soccer programs and different things on it as well.
Okay, we get different uses on that. Okay. Reach out to Rotary, helped us build that building.
Yeah, and there's different organizations. John's daughter's actually got an organization that's raising money. We also have talked with Michael, our grant administrator, and we're looking at one that is a potential, wouldn't come available until January, which actually works because we're going to get through one more season with the Band-Aid that we have on right now. So we're looking for opportunities for sure.
Okay. Help me understand this park shop.
So the park shop, if you've been out there, it's extremely old. We've been talking about it for a while. Our staff did one very large pole barn in-house. Right now, the big step is to build another building that would be able to move our mechanic into. If he's not operational, we're not operational. So we've worked with Public Works, and they just got a new project manager we're excited about. But the first proposal from the architects came in at a really high amount. So we're revisiting that, but hope to get that first phase rolling shortly. And then it'll be rolled over to the next. Because like I said, we've got to get that fully functional before we can start the others.
Is it gonna be open like pole barns? Are you gonna have roll-up doors on it, or?
Well, we would like a new large building. What we're going to build for the mechanic shop will eventually be converted into storage. But we would like a nice building where we could move offices and the break room into as well. Have a section that has a couple ways for the mechanic and lifts. And then have more storage and access in the back as well. So a combination, as you know, right now, if you've been down there, the supervisors are in like a tool time kind of shed, and the break room for the maintenance guys is a portable, it's a mobile home that we got from the school board many years ago. And they, with their skills, have redone the floor and, continue to, but it's probably 30 years old.
It's well needed, and you got millions of dollars worth of equipment, so you need a place to put it, to keep it out of the weather, so.
It's been a process.
Very much needed.
Any further questions for Ms. Joyner? Seeing none, thank you, Cheryl. Okay. Any other comments on Parks and Rec?
Well, I've noticed on here we didn't include any contribution to the St. Andrews and St. Joseph Bay Estuary Committee. I believe they were late in getting their funding request in, because I guess they didn't know they needed to do that.
That's what, 20,000?
They requested $20,000 this year.
What did they request last year?
I think it was the same.
I think it's the same. I think it hasn't changed.
Okay.
And before we move on from recreation, I also need to bring up the Boys and Girls Club and the Senior Center. If I can get a motion on that after you guys discuss that.
Yeah, well, Councilman Casto is taking a step back. I'm sure he'd want to be here for that motion, for all these motions. So why don't we wait for Councilman Casto?
Sure. Yeah.
So can we add something back in for the estuary?
I would hope that we do. I mean, protecting our waterways and environmental stewardship is something we've kind of stood on as a council, so I would hope that we would continue to help support that. I mean, that supports tourism and supports bringing people to our areas.
Absolutely.
No,
And we really need to push to get national recognition for that program
Absolutely.
so that they can apply for more grants.
I will say, Councilmember, having, I'm sorry, Councilman, having estuary come in late and without a budget when the other two contributions came in on time and with a budget is pretty difficult. Do you know why they weren't able to get this in on time?
Did we notify the other two that they needed to submit their information?
No.
I think probably they just didn't know.
I will say that one of the biggest things of the estuary committee, I think it helps us leverage being able to get grants if we do need things like that, especially with the work that we do with Lowwater Lake. I'm not sure if legal agrees with that statement or not, but I think that that does help us if we help support them in our ability to get state and federal grants. So,
Would I say
if
that?
we're showing a commitment on our behalf of environmental stewardship and helping the estuary programs, then I think that that is a worthy cause. I do agree with you. It is sad that it's late and that's the case, but I think it's worthwhile and may end up helping our city from a state and federal level in the future.
I mean, we have a budget document that went out to the public, and we don't have an estuary. We don't have any information from the estuary in this budget document available to the public right now. And so it's coming in as a $20,000 contribution, which is pretty frustrating, Councilmember.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Can we look at it, say this way, we'll put a placeholder in, we'll get the information, and then we can direct staff to at least these three organizations to send out notice after the budget that come next year, if you do not get everything on time with adequate documentation, then you are no longer, you will not be considered.
I'll be honest, and this is, I'm sure it's a fine program. This is a process thing for me. I mean, approving a 20K contribution without, I mean, I'd much rather bring that back at a council meeting or something.
Well, yeah, that's why I said
Yeah.
placeholder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to, I'm with you on that, not do anything until we get what we have requested. And we can put that out on the street so everybody can know what it is.
I think that's fair. More than fair.
Well, is there any detriment to us not doing it now, or, I mean?
No, I don't think it would affect that.
So that would bring it in a month, because the next budget's, or the next meeting's baked.
Should be plenty of time to get what we need.
Okay.
So what are you looking for, measurable outcomes from them, and then also a budget?
Just the request
How
with.
it directly.
The request, yeah, what
Didn't we
they're
receive
using the
the
money for,
request?
the budget.
We did receive a letter, I believe it was Friday.
Friday
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock.
Requesting $20,000.
Friday at 3 o'clock before a Tuesday meeting. So after this had been out. Yeah, I mean, this needs to be out in the public. So I think I'm okay with what the other council, the vice mayor and the council,
Yeah.
other council members can put a placeholder in now. But I don't want to approve this request now. It's not been available to the public.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, just for clarity purposes, this is a workshop. You don't approve, none of this is final.
Yeah, until
you
the
approved it
meeting.
at the council meeting.
Okay.
So even the motions that we've been making, those are not final until we finalize the budget, correct?
Right, the motions that you're making are directing staff to include those numbers in the budget. The budget actually doesn't get approved until the council meeting.
Yeah.
So we have time. and-
So we can put 20,000 in, and if we don't get what we want at the time of the voting at the budget,
Correct.
we take it out.
Correct, if, at the council meeting, you guys can do all whatever surgery you want to do.
We can go through this all
Approve the
over
final
again
budget.
if we wanted to.
You can.
Well, we're going to wait for Councilmember Castro to do this motion. Unless we want
No.
to take lunch
No,
now.
No, 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 no.
Is it here?
Let's keep working, please.
Please.
Is there anything else we can do in the meantime?
I don't know, send someone to make sure he's okay.
You go tell him to hurry.
Not telling Mr. Casto to hurry. Well, Baltimore's out of the playoffs.
Let's take a 5-minute recess. Back in order. All right. Councilmember Casto, we discussed there was a late contribution request from the Estuary Committee that came in on Friday. The discussion at the council settled on putting a placeholder while we wait for them to get their documentation in on time. So that's, that would be a $20,000 adjustment. So we, if the council approves, we need motion on that, and then we need to talk about the other two contributions. So let's take up the estuary motion.
Sure.
Council,
Is that a motion?
or do we need a motion for that one?
Yeah, because.
To adjust it, yeah, we'd have to direct it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, all right. So we good directing to put 20K?
Pending correct documentation and.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe a conversation
Okay.
from Councilmember Coburn with the Estuary Committee about why respecting the budget process is important and kind of the bind that put us in a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, and then we needed to move on to contributions for boys and girls and for senior center. I'll say, for boys and girls, I'm really surprised that we're the only municipality providing a contribution to them. I think they should be looking to other municipalities to help them. So I'd be interested in doing a match if other municipalities would help them. But being the only municipality for the Bay County Boys and Girls Club,
I think Panama City owns the land that the building is on, and over there on 15th or 19th Street there. So that's some contribution from Panama City. And I think the new one that's being built in Millville, the CRA is going to help with that. So that city's helping indirectly.
And I believe the program here is used primarily by individuals on the beach, not from outside of our area.
That's who we serve here. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 in Bay County, but we serve the one at Frank Brown Park and have for probably 30 years now. Is that right, Drew? I think.
Ever since I've been here for 35 years.
Yeah. As long as we've done the senior center, so.
Yeah, I have no appetite to stop investing in our youth, and I think the Boys and Girls Club's a proven foundation and proven organization. I think what they do, I believe in, and I'm, somewhat proud. Shame on the other municipalities maybe for not contributing, and I'm
agree with
proud to
that.
contribute. So I'm fully in on the Boys and Girls Club and the Senior Center, and I'd make a motion for Boys and Girls Club to go ahead and approve the funding requested.
And I'd second that.
okay, we have a motion and a second. I will just say, using city funds for contributions for social organizations, I don't think is necessarily best use, but we have a motion and a second. Ms. Fazzoni?
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Tedmer.
Yes, ma'am. And for the senior center,
Motion to approve their request of $65,000.
is it 65?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
65. For the senior center, it's a good program. The fact that only 20% of their funding comes from dues, and we are 47% of their operating budget every year, is very challenging. I would ask them, personally, I know this is not a motion with the council, I would ask them to increase their own contributions next year and potentially decrease their request from us. We increased it by 20K 2 years ago. You got to figure out some other funding other than the city continually doing their operating costs from my perspective. We have a motion to approve in a second.
I would say, I think we've asked them in the past to raise their, or discuss membership dues there as well.
They have 700 members at $50. If they moved it to 65, that'd be $10,000. It'd still be $5.50 a month. And most of those members are, 40% of those members are non-residents. So we're subsidizing non-residents. Okay, we have a motion on the table to approve in a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Fazoni, please call roll.
Councilman Casto?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn?
Yes.
Councilman Register?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor German?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Tettemer?
Yes, ma'am. Moving on.
Okay, so we will move on to our community redevelopment area. Their proposed budget for 2027 is $68,535,260. Within this budget, first of all, speak a little bit about the revenue. Their TIF is 76% of their revenue, and CRA assessments is 4% of the revenue. Grants is about 11% of the revenue. They are requesting 2 positions, an engineer, which we heard earlier in the street department being shared by the street, stormwater, and CRA. CRA maintenance worker shared by street and also CRA. They're asking for several pieces of equipment, $350,000 for a street sweeper, $300,000 for a boom axe, shared by the street, CRA, and stormwater, $180,000 for a 310 backhoe, shared by the street as well as the CRA, and a F-150 truck, $62,500. The improvements being requested is the Front Beach Road crosswalk improvements is $4,990,000, and the roundabout art, $250,000. The capital outlays for segment 4.1 is $30,280,000. 4.2, $5,400,000. 4.3, $11,300,000. Powell Adams, $1.4 million. Claire Avenue resurfacing and sidewalk improvements, $1,680,000, which we will have LAP funding. The Cobb Road resurfacing and sidewalk improvement is $1,250,000, funded with LAP funding. The Front Beach Road Sea Chase box culvert replacement is $1,250,000, and it'll be shared with CRA and stormwater. Front Beach Road Seagull Villas box culvert replacement, $1,050,000, shared with CRA and stormwater. And then the Front Beach Road Bonita Beach box culvert replacement, $1,050,000, shared by CRA and stormwater. And 86% of these expenditures are capital outlay.
Okay. Thank you, Deborah. John, can you help me understand these very expensive box culvert replacements?
Yes, sir. If you recall, at last council meeting when I did the presentation, I made a presentation about an emergency repair where we were called out. We were called out because it is failing, and it is, this is the one at Sea Chase, the first one. The box culvert has significant issues. It needs to be replaced. It needs to be removed and replaced. After that, we did evaluations of all 3 box culverts on segment 5. And they're all in a condition that needs to be replaced. We're looking at, we're exploring different options. We're going to try to maximize the, what we can potentially line. Some of the structures, they do go under, condos or buildings. So we're going to have to line sections of them and remove and replace the sections that are within the roadway. So we're definitely exploring those options as well, but they are at a critical need and need to be replaced.
Okay. Any questions for John while he's up here?
Of these roadway improvements on Powell Adams and Claire and Cobb, are those prioritized? Or are they just ones that you want to get accomplished?
Those are the current ones we're planning on getting accomplished, and then we're going to go through and come back with basically a memo to council to try to set the priorities of which ones would be prioritized, based upon which ones you want us to target first.
Good, thank you.
Further questions for Mr. Adair?
John, I noticed, and I brought it up during that process there on the road by Lowe's there, what is that?
Alf Coleman?
Alf Coleman?
Yes, sir.
There's no bike path on that. So when we do Powell Adams and Claire, are we going to have bike paths on those? Is that something that you would want us to do?
I believe the current plan, the last I looked at it, was 4-laning in each directions with bike paths. So, but again, I believe those plans were originally developed back in 2010, 2008, so they will need to be.
With stormwater, they didn't want to do any more impervious surface, but I still think you need a bike lane on Alf Coleman.
Absolutely, and Alf Coleman is actually a future project. That one is supposed to get 4-laned as well.
Right.
I believe the original plan that went through and we just built was to try to, if you recall, that one had significant flooding issues, stormwater issues. And so that project has helped significantly with that issue. But the future plan for Alf Coleman is again to 4-lane.
Any of these other cut-through streets, we definitely need to have a bike lane, especially with all the issues we're having with the e-bikes and everything.
Or any further questions for Mr. Adair?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Adair. Anything from us for a motion on this one?
No, sir.
Okay, let's keep going.
So moving on along, we have the Stormwater Department. Their proposed budget this year is $11,770,000. They are requesting 2 new positions. One is an engineer that will be shared by the street, CRA, and stormwater, which we have previously spoken of, and also a stormwater maintenance worker. The machinery equipment request this year is a boom axe for $300,000, was shared with the street and CRA. A large excavator, a dewatering pump, large stormwater plugs, and hydro seed sprayer. Some of the capital projects that are being proposed is $2 million for the Frank Brown Park stormwater basins, $1.6 million for the Lowell Water Lake, and that is partially funded, $4 million. The $4 million total projects were partially funded by a $3 million grant. $580,000 for the Randy Road drainage improvement, $500,000 for Manistee Drive drainage improvements, $99,000 for Vestavia and Sanssouci improvements, $600,000 total project costs, and is funded with $400,000 of grant, $90,000 for the Henley Drive drainage improvements, and $734,000 for the Public Works Safe Room, with 2.4, the total is a $2.4 million project shared with the street, stormwater, and CRA, and it's going to be partially funded with a $600,000 grant. The proposed expenditures overall is 32% in operating, 13% of personnel, with 55% in capital outlay. The stormwater revenues are derived from stormwater fees at 56% and 41% for grants. Those are the majority of where your revenues come from.
Mr. Adair. No, we got you all the way back there. I have a question about the $770,000 stormwater asset management and GIS update.
Yes, sir. So if you've noticed, a lot of our requests are targeted towards satisfying the permit requirements. One of the permit requirements, again, is an asset inventory of every single pipe, inlet, manhole, ditch, pond, every single thing in the entire city. And not only do we have to do an inventory of it, then we have to maintain it, and then keep records of each time each asset is maintained, and that's part of our requirement. The first piece to solve that puzzle is to find out our entire asset, and that's what that effort is. The bulk of that effort, I believe, close to 400,000, and we'll bring the total proposals and everything, but the bulk of that effort is survey, going out and, locating, getting that information, putting it into GIS, and then also now harmonizing that with the PCI study, which I believe will be fantastic, because after this is complete, basically every asset that Public Works owns and is responsible to maintain will be in GIS, and we'll be able to keep track of it, keep records of it, and update it as each new piece goes in.
An expensive permit.
Backtracking from 40 years ago.
Okay.
Right, and this is, to be honest, this is a tool that we should have, right? Like, we should know where all of our assets are. Again, it also helps in the event during storms, if things get destroyed, we have records of them, we have logs of every asset that we own.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Adair on stormwater?
Like the 2 million in Frank Brown, that's not just all engineering, that's some construction.
That's correct. The engineering is, I would say, about 90% complete. We are in our permitting phase. The engineering was approved previously. This would be in the construction. Again, another part of the permit. One of the requirements of the permit is to do a nutrient reduction project. I think this is the best bang for our buck that we can do. We can help a park facility that has notorious flooding issues, while also help solve one of the nutrient reduction requirements, projects that we need to do.
Anything else from council?
The 1,600 for Lawwater Lake, will that complete the demucking of Lawwater Lake, or is this going to be an ongoing project for several years?
That's 1.6 million. That's
1.6.
That's part of the demucking.
That is the demucking.
That
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
demucking?
Yes.
Okay.
And to be clear, that's demucking of some of the channels. It is not
Correct.
demucking.
It's just to hydraulically connect and provide a better access from where it goes underneath the bridge into the outfall.
We don't know how much it would take to demuck that lake. Further questions for John? Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Moving right along, we have the utility fund. The utility fund is comprised of the water and wastewater. Their proposed budget for '27 total with water and wastewater is $96,332,810. The water proposed budget is $41,145,500. Of that, 45% is for capital outlay, 41% is for operating, and 14% is personnel. They are requesting a few new positions: an electrician, a GIS analyst, undercrew utilities crew leader, and 2 underground utilities workers. The capital projects proposed this year in the budget for the water department is the Parkway Water Transmission Mains. It's going to be partially funded by a $5 million grant, and it's $5,166,000. Our new utilities and admin and support building, $2,891,000. McKelvey ground storage, $1,776,000. West Laird transmission main, $1,632,000. The automated water meter reading, $1,548,000. the Biddlewee subdivision water main replacements, as well as water main relocations. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to wastewater so that if you have questions, you can bring up Mark at one time. The wastewater proposed budget.
Thank you for that efficiency, Deborah.
Proposed budget is $52,274,100. The new positions proposed for the wastewater is a lift station mechanic, and the proposed positions that were indicated over in the water department budget will also be shared with the wastewater division. The capital projects they are proposing is for wastewater treatment facility improvements, $8,434,000. Force main reclaimed water upgrades, $6,366,000. Lift station upgrades, $6,221,000. New utilities admin and support building, $2,101,000. Laguna Beach sewer phase 1, $1,952,000. This is approximately $5 million project, which will be partially funded by a $3 million grant. And then the conservation park improvements, $1,844,000. And of all the expenditures for wastewater, 67% is for capital outlay, 20% is for operating, and 13% is for personnel.
All right, Mark, if you could come up here. I had two questions, one on the wastewater treatment plant, one on the McKelvey ground storage tanks. So you want to take the ground storage, or we can go to wastewater treatment plant facilities? What are the improvements we're doing for $8,400,000?
I'm sorry, what are the improvements we're doing for?
For the wastewater treatment plant at a cost of $8,400,000. And then for the listening public, this is outside the general fund. We're now in enterprise funds. So this is funded by fees and charges.
Right. We really have two upcoming expansions needed at the wastewater treatment plant. The first phase is primarily maintenance and upgrade of the existing systems there, and then plus about $1 million gallon per day increase in capacity, which would take us from 14 million to 15 million gallons per day.
Okay.
And then on its heels is a larger expansion program that's going to be focused primarily on developing additional capacity. And those two major capital projects are starting to shift into our 5-year planning window.
Okay. And for the, since that additional treatment that's growth related, is that accurate?
Yes.
Where are we at on the impact fees for wastewater?
I'll be bringing those back to you either at the end of the year or sometime next year. That's something we're still working on, our impact fees.
Okay. Will we lose the ability to use impact fees for this expansion if we go forward with it?
We can use existing fees that we have on hand to the extent that it's growth related. We'll do that analysis, and then whatever, finance always uses the most restricted revenue source first. So we always try to use the impact fees to the extent that we can.
Okay. All right. Go back to the McKelvey plant, the additional storage there. That's part of a multi-year expansion of that.
Yes, it is. It's a redundancy as well as expansion. That facility is an older facility. It's the oldest pump station in our system. It has an open-air pump gallery that's just under a roof, so it's subject to hurricane threat. Then also, a lot of the features in the existing pump station have just single points of function, and we're proposing to replace that with a new station that's actually divided down the middle with a fireproof wall, and you'd have redundant pumping systems and control systems on either side.
Okay.
The city has already purchased the land for that project and the increased tankage that we need.
You purchased that from Bay County?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Bay County, for helping us with that. Any questions for Mark on any of these other projects?
A lot of projects.
A lot of projects, big budget. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's keep going.
Keep going, okay. I will just really quick, as the mayor said, that this is a enterprise fund. The utility fund is an enterprise fund, and 71% of their revenue is received from charges for services. That's what supports their division. So the next division we will go into is the pier fund. The proposed revenue, the proposed budget is $1,314,350. The pier this year is not asking for any new positions, no new capital. They are proposing a pier inspection report enhancement for $62,000. And you can see that the personnel is 58% of their expenditure budget, and operating is 41% of their operating budget. The pier fund is also an enterprise fund, and where you can see that 73% of their total revenue comes from charges for services, which is their admissions, and then 26% comes from rent.
Okay. We don't have to bring Cheryl up here.
Unless you have questions for her, no.
No. That pier inspection is just something we do.
We do it, not every year, but every several years we do that.
Yeah, got to get that done. Makes sense.
Do we have any kind of analysis on pier admissions being resident versus visitor admissions?
I'm sorry.
Do we have any kind of financial analysis on resident versus pier admissions, like what percentage make up of?
No.
I think one thing we'll see with the
Yes.
now 2 month of free pier is at least the zip codes. Also really looking forward to the business analysts for helping to understand some of those things. Okay?
I don't think it'll have that big of an impact.
I think it would be people who wouldn't normally go to the pier, basically.
Yeah.
That's the goal. It's in part the goal anyway. Okay?
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Good.
Okay, so the next division is the Aquatic Center. The proposed budget for Aquatic Center is $1,591,170. 62% of their budget is for personnel, 38% is for operating. They did not request any new positions or any new capital this year. Their revenues also is from charges for services, from missions and fees, and that's at 35%. And you can see that 64% comes from internal fund transfers.
Okay, and those fund transfers are coming from which fund?
Pier.
Pier fund? Okay. All right. Any questions or commentary on that one?
No.
All right. Let's keep going.
Okay, so our last is our internal service funds. We have 3 this year we set up. We have IT, we have the fleet maintenance, and we have, this year, we set up a health insurance internal service fund. I'm really not going to touch on the health insurance internal service fund because, but all of these are basically, you can look at them as kind of an accounting practice so that we can see exactly what expenditures were used for the IT. The expenditures in the IT, the fleet, and the health insurance internal service funds are all included in your regular general fund utility funds as well. So they are not, it's not an addition to these, you see the 2.7 million? That 2.7 million is already included in these other funds as well. So with the IT budget, internal service fund budget, they are requesting an administrative assistant, which is going to be shared with the fleet maintenance and the facility maintenance division. Their capital projects is the city fiber project for $275,000. The equipment is their annual computer replacements at $300,000 and backup servers for $85,000. They have several implementation projects that will be going on, which is the BTR software, the permitting and license software, CityWorks software, and the record management software that the police department just spoke of. 35% of their budget is personnel, 52% of their budget is operating.
CityWorks is the new system we're using?
We've actually had CityWorks for several years. We've just been a little bit slow implementing it, and I think it's really gotten to the point now where we're going to stand it up fully. But CityWorks will enable us to have a whole inventory, work order, ticketing system. It's pretty robust. All of our asset management, all will be under CityWorks at some point eventually.
Okay. We already talked about BTR, that permitting and licensing software should also help make things a little bit more efficient.
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Always happy to see C-Fix integration. And project and professional management, no, that's reporting software. Okay, let's keep going, let's see if we can get this by, well, we'll see.
Okay, so our final division is the Fleet Internal Service Fund. This is a new division this year. The proposed budget is $769,900. They are proposing 2 new positions, a fleet mechanic supervisor as well as a fleet mechanic. The equipment and enhancements are a lift and then a lift for tires, airlines for the new shop, and fleet software. 67% of their budget is for personnel expenditures, and 22% is for operating, and 11% is for capital outlay.
Let's do some more work in-house.
Good.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Do we have anything from, let's see if I can get my agenda here. We got one more item on the health insurance fund. Can you just touch on that one?
Yes, sir, I can touch on that one just slightly. This year, we pulled out our health insurance fund. We pulled it out and put it into an internal service fund so that we have a better view and a better look as to our true medical claim costs, because they all get buried in the other funds and general fund. And as you can see, I mean, we did not do a slide up here for this one. It's $6,230,000 is the amount of our health insurance total. Part of that is the medical claims, HSA contributions, stop-loss insurance, contractual services, and professional services. All these expenditures are within the other individual budgets. But this will also allow us to have a bird's eye view on exactly, it'd be a lot easier to keep up with the internal service fund.
This just makes it a lot easier so you, from the dais and the public, sees how much we spend on our healthcare. Years past has been hidden each department. You see it as a line item, but this is the big picture for everybody in the city.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank, first of all, Mr. Whitman and Ms. White. Is this your last one?
This is my last one.
This is the last one? Okay, well, we will miss you, Ms. White. I would like to also thank all the department heads. You gave us I know that before this got to us, this went through a few rounds, right, of cuts. So thank you for making it easier for us up here. And thank you for being good stewards of the taxpayer funds. Any further comments from the council?
No, thank you to the staff.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Whitman, for your leadership.
Yep.
Bringing us this budget.
I would like to end in thanking the council for useful discussion up here. Let's go forward. This meeting is adjourned.